I hope you enjoyed that little scenic drive on Illinois State Route 31 from McHenry to where we are now. We are at the Blackhawk County Forest Preserve in South Elgin, Illinois. Yes, we are at another Kane County Forest Preserve right off of Illinois State Route 31. And as you can see, the fall colors are still in full effect. The leaves are definitely falling, but the colors are still pretty nice. And I love that drive down on Illinois State Route 31. Some very beautiful areas. Still actually pretty green right around here. But something in particular I want to check out here. Something that has popped into my Facebook feed a couple times now. Definitely a sign that I need to check it out. We've just entered November. The weather is still really good. And I see it right over here. Oh yeah. We have another waterfall. I follow several local area Facebook pages, that'll say, hey, this town, guess what hidden surprise is here that you don't know about? And those type of pages have definitely given me lots of inspiration over the years to check out new places that I indeed did not know existed. And this for sure is one of them right here in South Elgin, Illinois, off of Illinois State Route 31. A pretty decent waterfall. With the beautiful noise of the highway in the background, we do have a waterfall here in South Elgin. You're going to see if we can get a little bit closer. There is a path here. I think it'll actually get us to the underpass as well. You might remember some years back I went to the Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve in Darien, Illinois, quite a bit south of here in DuPage County. They also had a waterfall. That one was a lot bigger, but this is a lot closer. Both of them I found thanks to Facebook. And that one in DuPage County is definitely more of a tourist spot. This still appears to be a hidden gem. One I definitely wouldn't know existed if it weren't for that Facebook post. But like I said, it shared it with me in my feed twice, so I guess they really wanted me to check it out, and I'm glad they did. This is pretty much the end of our fall nature adventures this week. We are in November. I'm very lucky we got another beautiful week today. It might hit the 60s. It's just beautiful out, but oh my, by next week, a lot is going to change, and I think a lot of the colors are going to go away as well. The weather folks are claiming it all. Yes, snow, Arctic cold coming in, the whole thing. Starting this weekend, so this might be the end. If so, we had a pretty good season. I did not get to Chicago like I had hoped, but that's alright. Still saw some pretty good nature and fall colors this year. And we kind of have a mini waterfall here. Little graffiti art going on. Some rocks that we can't walk, I think. We're not going to get underneath the bridge though. Ooh, a little slippery here though. I mean, kind of cool looking. If it was dry through here, it'd be kind of fun to walk through. And there's another little tunnel at the end there. See if I can zoom in on this. Yeah, there you go. Very interesting. And you can feel like a cool blast of air coming out of here also. Plenty of graffiti art along here as well. Hello! 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 Subscribe to Memories by Wayne! There you go. Anything interesting in this little hole here? Hello? Hello, hello? Barely see what's in here. Definitely sounds like some water in here though. So we're on the corner of Illinois State Route 31 and McLean Road. That is what that stoplight is right over there. The parking lot for this forest reserve is right about on that corner, and the waterfall is just a few feet away from the parking lot, so very, very easy to find. This creek, or whatever this is not even visible on Google Maps. There is no label. It just flows south into the Fox River. Yeah, right next to busy Illinois State Route 31. It's a pretty cool waterfall. And like I said, that one in DuPage County definitely was a tourist spot. There were a ton of people there. There was some folks taking like wedding photos there, and super busy. And yeah, this is just kind of here. Pulled up, there were definitely a few cars in the parking lot. There was an older lady walking her dog, but that's it. And I haven't seen one other person here by this waterfall. Really cool. Neat little sandstone type rocks there that reminds me of Wisconsin Dells. This little formation here also definitely reminds me of Wisconsin Dells. Pretty easy to walk to this waterfall, nothing crazy. The parking lot is literally right over to our left. I will show you guys, in case you are in the area and interested in checking this out. Typical county forest reserve. Parking obviously is free. It's not a big parking lot, so So if there's a lot of people on this trail, there might not be a spot available. Really, that'd be the only concern you might have to worry about. This is a random rock. Yeah, check this out, man. This is cool. So check this out. Here's your waterfall with the no swimming or wading sign. And right over here is the parking lot off of Illinois State Route 31. The trail also does continue a little this way through the Forest Preserve, kind of winding around the Fox River, which is down in that general direction. But we're not going to be walking this way. We're going to be heading back towards the parking lot, towards some other forest preserves that are in the area, but wanted to show you this angle of the waterfall from the bridge. Yeah, definitely very easy to spot. It's easy to have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. And believe me, I know that all too well, but sometimes Facebook does good for you. And it definitely did here. Continuing east past the parking lot, we are on the River Bend bike trail. The name, no doubt, because the Fox River does a little bendy thing in this area. And if Google Maps is correct, this bike trail will take us straight into the John J. Duerr Forest Preserve, Duerr, and will link us with the infamous Fox River Trail, where we will then be able to cross a very big bridge that goes over the Fox River. Which will then lead us into another forest preserve on the other side of the Fox River. The Tekakwitha Forest Preserve. I don't know these names. I know usually they have a Native American background in this area, but Tekakwitha is the best way I could pronounce it. Tekakwitha. That side of the river appears to be unincorporated St. Charles, where this side of the river is South Elgin. So we're kind of walking through two towns sort of today. Definitely kind of more South Elgin here though, and just a few minutes south of Elgin. That waterfall is really not that far from me. But if it weren't for that Facebook post, I don't know how I would have found that. South Elgin is cool and everything. Not a big town. Not been a lot for me to film there. I have some family that lives in South Elgin at this time, but yeah, South Elgin, Illinois is definitely not an area that you would associate with a waterfall. A random pop of pink here. That is different. Definitely seems like there's more green in this area than at home. I mean, we are obviously a little bit south of McHenry, so I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. But obviously you're seeing quite the pop of those colors on the way down here. So yeah, we're definitely getting our steps in today, but this is the week to do it. We may not get another chance like this for the rest of 2025. Now I kind of want to know what festival goes on around here. I'm sure some family members could tell me if they actually watched my videos, but I'm guessing it's in this field here. A lot of skaters here today. Besa Park. That's a pretty big field, definitely big enough to hold a festival. There you go, I don't need my family to answer me. We have the information right here. Besa Park is home of the Scandinavian Day Festival in South Elgin, Illinois. There you go. You may have to check that out. Do the Scandinavians have good food? That's what I need to know. Definitely not getting into the park today. Well, I mean, there's, you know, easy way to get under it, but really not much to see here. So, still on the trail. Now it's going to curve to the right, head down a little closer to the river, and then we should be able to connect with the Fox River Trail after that. Yeah, I could have drove to each one of these forest preserves, but figured let's go ahead and walk it. Why not? Not really sure how long these trails are. But the weather is absolutely amazing right now. The phone says 59 currently. And yes, this is Illinois State Route 31. This is northbound, back towards McHenry. So now we're kind of on the border here of Vesa Park, and that is John J. Doerr Forest Preserve. Those trees out that way. It's kind of funny when all the passerbys, they'll say hello to you, and you know, I'm just assuming they're all locals to the area walking the forest preserve that's nearby them, and here I am, the guy from McHenry, walking through. There's probably not too many McHenry folk that come through here. That was one thing that definitely passed by my mind when I went to that forest preserve and that meditation tree out in Bloomingdale, Illinois, and like everyone was super friendly there. Everyone was saying hi to you. It was kind of crazy. And like, yeah, you know, I'm probably the only one that doesn't live in DuPage County or Bloomingdale. So now we're getting to some interesting stuff. I do see the Fox River. We haven't really gotten a good look at the Fox River to this point, but we'll definitely now. And this is the parking lot, I believe, to the John J. Doerr Forest Preserve. This is a really interesting area, though. There is some things going on here. Could this? Oh, no way. Oh my gosh. No way. Oh my gosh. I passed by this on the way down, but, you know, kind of went in the back of my mind like, oh, I need to cover this in a future vlog. This is actually the end of the line for the Fox River Trolley Museum. Yeah, so we have basically our own version of the East Troy Railway Museum here in South Elgin. A bunch of old antique trains. You can take rides in them when they're in season. Actually, I just saw Facebook of those saying they were ending for the season. And this is the end of the line. Not a very long line, but they have some very old trains. I have never checked out their museum yet, or their trains, but definitely on the to-do list. This is the Blackhawk station. So you can kind of think of this as East Troy's version of the Elgin Farmer in McGuanago, where the line stops and then head back the other way to the train museum. Except there's no Elgin Farmer, just a forest preserve. Operating days, Mother's Day until November. Yep, so that's why they just closed up for the season. 45 minutes or more for a round trip, that's not bad at all. I've known this to be a thing for years, I just forget that it exists. But you can definitely see their old trains from Illinois State Route 31. Four-mile ride. Yeah, that's pretty decent for sure. I don't know exactly how long East Troy is, but yeah, we're definitely going to be doing this soon on the channel. Yay, personal photography is allowed. Commercial photography, eh, you know, it's YouTube. I don't really make much money here. Well, that was a cool little side truck there. Let's get back to the trail though. Little boat launch ramp area here. Should be able to get a nice view of the Fox River. Might be able to see the bridge that we're going to cross in a moment. Oh yeah, we indeed can see it. That is the Fox River Trail there. And we are indeed in the John J. Dewar Forest Preserve, South Elgin, Illinois. We have a map. We are here, but we could take a look at our journey so far and where we are going. Here is where our car is currently parked. And here is that little creek with the waterfall. You're right about there. And then, yeah, we've been walking the River Bend Trail along Illinois State Route 31. Here's that park where we headed south. And eventually hooked up with the river. And if we go just a little bit more, right about here, we'll be able to connect with the Fox River Trail and head to the other side of the Fox River. And now you can see better how the river does a bendy thing in this area. Very nice trail here right along the river. A lot of the leaves on the ground. Leaves blowing in the wind. And 60 degrees weather. You really can't ask for much more. And by this time next week, it might be 30 degrees and snowing. Now, keep in mind that they aren't really calling for much accumulating snow. Depending on where you are, it might be a rain-snow mix. Definitely more of a chance of lake effect snow, possibly right along the lake, near like Waukegan and stuff like that, but more accumulating lake effect snow expected towards Indiana and Michigan. Not too surprising, but shouldn't be anything too crazy for us. May have to take the shovel out, I don't know. But there's a good chance the winter coat is going to come out by the end of this week. Knowing the walk that I have back to the car, probably won't be exploring the next forest preserve that much. Still the same Fox River, just on the other side. But I definitely want to cross this bridge. And there's definitely some historical significance to this bridge. In my childhood, we'll get to that in a moment once we start to cross it. I am going to link my visit to Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve in the description below. That's been a few years ago now, I think, and definitely at a point where I had a lot less subscribers, so some of you regulars definitely didn't see that video. So check it out. Really cool place. Definitely one I'd like to get back to one day. Man, now this is what I'm talking about. These are the colors that I like. Nice. Finally, I've gotten to the bridge, and that is no small bridge. That'll take us a few minutes to cross as well. I think there's a little shortcut over here, so let's check this out. Alright, there is a sign up here. Got green signs and brown signs, so you know this is going to be good. The brown, of course, being recreational stuff, and the green being directional and mileage stuff. Alright, let's see what we got here. The River Bend Trail, the John J. Dewar Forest Preserves, and restroom/water. This way? Yeah, that makes sense. And here's the interesting ones, the green signs. Randall Road, 3.3 miles to the left. Stearns Road Trail, 0.4 miles. And South Elgin, 1.7 miles to the north. And on the other side, you have basically the same ones for the brown signs, but then you have, again, Randall Road, 3.3 miles. St. Charles, 4.5 miles. And Aurora, 16.5 miles. And welcome back to the Fox River Trail. We've definitely covered this trail once or twice on the channel. This does eventually turn into the Prairie Trail when it heads over into McHenry County. We covered that border area before on the channel. And I have a lot of history with this trail as well, as it was one that I used to bike with my dad when I was a kid numerous times, including this portion of the trail. Yeah, so my dad and I, at least once, took our bikes, starting in Elmhurst on the Illinois Prairie Path, and then connected up with the northern branch to this portion of the Fox River Trail. And I definitely remember at least once heading up north on the Fox River Trail all the way into Elgin, stopping basically where the casino is. The Grand Victoria Riverboat. Yeah, that was a long bike ride. Definitely both of us were much younger at the time. I don't know if either one of us could do that today. There were also numerous times that we biked the Fox River Trail from St. Charles up to the Elgin area. And I'm very certain that I crossed over this bridge on the Fox River Trail with my bike, with my dad, back in the day. Kind of like that guy. And let's take a look at the Fox River. And this is only the first half of this bridge. And I think we're going to wrap it up as soon as we cross this bridge, because I see a really big hill up ahead and not really feeling that. I don't know exactly where this trail connects to the next forest preserve. Which again, that weird Native American name, that's basically the forest preserve for right over there. Yeah, if you haven't heard of the Blue Rodent, that's definitely my fault. That is my bike that I've had since 1996. I did a video on it when we first moved up to McHenry. The plan was to ride all around McHenry with it. Maybe at some point get a GoPro and film around the neighborhood, and that just really hasn't happened. The tires are flat, and get busy with work, family, gig work, stuff that makes money, and I really should be reserving some time to ride my bike more and just do more recreational stuff. Hit trails like the Millennium Trail in Lake County that kind of requires a bike. And yeah, it's all on me, and as I get older too, I feel a little less motivated to do all that exercise, and I feel like I'm just going to be more tired, and I really do want to get out, so hopefully that will eventually be on the channel again. But you can definitely see that video if you want about my Blue Rodent. Beautiful bike. Next year would be an excellent year to, get air in the tire and start taking out again. Next spring will be the 30th anniversary since I've gotten that bike. Kind of crazy. Definitely a lot of folks with vests on. The first set of vests that passed by, they had some kind of company name on the back, so I don't know if it's just like a biking club or what, but... Well, this was an excellent way to spend the first week in November. I definitely wasn't confident that we were going to have any good weather weeks after Halloween, but we got one more anyway. Now that 1911, yeah, I think this used to be the railroad line. Went all along the Fox River. and then, you know, kind of connected up to the Prairie Trail and the Northwest line up around Crystal Lake. But yeah, pretty sure this used to be a railroad line as well. One sign for sure is the power lines. Yeah, there definitely used to be a railroad line that ran along the Foss River and through Algonquin up north, and then, yeah, sort of connecting to where the Northwest line connects up around Crystal Lake and heading up to McHenry, and then eventually up into Lake Geneva back in the day. We're pretty much going to be backtracking at this point, so I think I'm going to end the video here. Hope you enjoyed our fall nature adventures for 2025. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell. And stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be doing one more video in the area while we're here. Something that I've had on the to-do list. Thank you for watching.